Welcome back, everybody, to another segment of the Pillars to Success. We are here once again with Dr. Paul White. How are you doing today, Dr. White?
I am doing great.
So, one of the important things within, obviously, the Pillars of Success is having a sense of purpose. So, within the Pillars of Success, obviously, having a sense of purpose is something that can make you feel like it's easier to complete hard tasks or to overcome things that have become very difficult on your journey. So we're going to go over that today. First and foremost, what is your idea of a sense of purpose?
Oh, wow. So a sense of purpose could be any number of things. I think that many times we would identify it with something that we're passionate about, something that we deeply enjoy. This could be a talent. This could be an activity. This could be work. Some people are very passionate about what they do with their work. So I feel that whatever it may be, it's very, very important that we have that sense of purpose and that passion in our life. Because I see people without it. I myself, there was a time where I didn't have it. And I can tell you that life is not as it lacks a certain amount of luster when you don't have that deep sense of purpose, when you don't have maybe something that you're passionate about.
When someone's trying to find their sense of purpose, where do you start? How do you get into the right mindset or the right point where you can find that sense of purpose?
I think you have to really take a journey of self-reflection here. Some people may have always known, or maybe always know what they are passionate about, what they have a sense of purpose, what their sense of purpose is. Others, they may have to dig a little bit deeper and to really reflect on things that they enjoy, things that bring them joy and happiness, and that they can get passionate about in their lives. I feel that a great place to start are maybe talents, things that you were born with, gifts that you were naturally imbued with. This is a great place. Maybe you're a person that has the ability to be very artistic. You can draw or paint, sculpt. Maybe you're a person that loves music, so maybe you're musically inclined and you play an instrument. The point here is that it could be any number of things. It's going to be highly individualized, and so no one's going to give you your sense of purpose, and you wouldn't want a person to give you a sense of purpose anyway. It's something that you want to discover on your own. So there isn't an overriding one that's just handed out. It's something that you have to find for yourself.
You mentioned how it's typically something that you're good at within a sense of purpose. Does it necessarily have to be something that you're good at, or is that just kind of one way of viewing it?
That's one way of looking at it. There may be other areas. There are people that love certain things. So there are people that love maybe photography. They love going out and taking pictures in nature. It's something that is something that kind of feeds their soul. Some people really enjoy getting out and meeting new people, learning about people's stories and being able to engage and connect in that way. I feel that it's not something you necessarily have to be good at, or even something that you're necessarily naturally talented with. That's just one way or one area that you can start when you're looking. But I feel that also when it comes back to the reflection that we talked about, it's going to be things that we genuinely enjoy doing. And people generally have a pretty good idea of what they like, what they do, that brings them joy and a sense of accomplishment in their lives.
For you specifically, what was something that really helped you find your sense of purpose?
For me, I grew up in a family with a lot of very talented people, musically, artistically, intellectually, athletically. So some of it I think early on I took for granted. I loved to sketch, early on. I loved writing poetry. I still enjoy doing some of these things. I think as I got older, though, I decided to dig a bit deeper, and as I dug deeper, I found out more about myself, and I think that's what everybody needs to do in this process of finding something you're passionate about, something that you feel a sense of purpose with. Is you have to dig deep, and the deeper that you dig, the more that you reflect on it, the more you're going to uncover something that really resonates with you. And I think at the end of the day, that's really the key here. Is you have to find a part of yourself that is that just really resonates. That's something that really speaks to you, something that moves you, something that you can fall in love with.
Within your journey to finding your self-purpose, was there anything you specifically did to find that?
Yes, I tried to spend time really getting to know myself. That might sound kind of weird because people think, yeah, I already know myself, or I have a pretty good idea, But I think when you quiet the external noises and you really sit and reflect with yourself and you think about things that are important to you, things that touch you, things that that you want to aspire to. The more time you reflect on that, the more it's going to come. Your purpose or your passion is going to come into view, and I feel that the process is one that takes time. It's not something that you're necessarily going to discover overnight. You may try other different areas. Like I said earlier, you might try different talents. You might try other areas of interest, and but maybe they don't feed you the way that you're looking. Maybe they don't resonate with you the way that you're looking. And so take that time. Take that journey of self-discovery, and at least in my experience, it pays off. You end up landing upon something through trial and error that you feel good about, that you feel that you can develop yourself within, and then something that is beautiful for others as well. Is something that can be shared with the individuals, family and friends around you. So,
have there been any people in your life that you knew back before they had a sense of purpose, and were you able to watch them grow and find their sense of purpose?
Yes, and it's an actual remarkable transformation to watch. I mean, I watched it in my own life, but again, it's different when you're watching, someone else's life in that way, and to get to see the growth that what they go through basically to get to that point, the growth and the development. So I think I have a particular friend actually that started out very. I guess I would say, not feeling very sure of themselves, struggling to maybe find their purpose, and to find their passion. And sometimes what's interesting in life is that passion and that purpose wraps itself into work. And if you're lucky enough to be that person, that's amazing. You get to do what you love. That's an amazing combination. For most people, that doesn't work out that way, but for this particular friend, it did. And it was amazing to watch them grow personally and professionally, and to develop themselves in such a way, and where I could see how passionate and that they were about within their profession, and how much purpose they felt in the execution of their duties and responsibilities and everything. So,
how do you feel about people who have a sense of purpose and maybe some things go wrong in their life and they lose that sense of purpose?
That happens. It's happened to me before, and sometimes in life you may have more than one sense of purpose or more than one thing that you're passionate about. A lot of it has to do with timing and different stages in your life. So it's easy sometimes to be going down a path and things don't quite turn out the way that you were hoping, and maybe in that pursuit, things fall apart, and maybe you do lose some of your passion or purpose in that area, in that way. And then, down the road, you pick back up, and you may find that you have a completely different purpose or a completely different passion that you have. So I think it's normal. I don't think that, it's something that should alarm us if it happens. Obviously, it's not a fun process to go through. But sometimes going through that process, we learn more about ourselves. We learn more about, our likes and dislikes, more about what makes us tick, and what we're deeply what we deeply care about, what we're deeply passionate about. So sometimes going through those trials really show us more of who we are.
How do you feel about people who have a sense of purpose and maybe some things go wrong in their life and they lose that sense of purpose?
That happens. It's happened to me before, and sometimes in life you may have more than one sense of purpose or more than one thing that you're passionate about. A lot of it has to do with timing and different stages in your life. So it's easy sometimes to be going down a path and things don't quite turn out the way that you were hoping, and maybe in that pursuit things fall apart, and maybe you do lose some of your passion or purpose in that area, in that way. And then, down the road, you pick back up, and you may find that you have a completely different purpose or a completely different passion that you have. So I think it's normal. I don't think that, it's something that should alarm us if it happens. Obviously, it's not a fun process to go through. But sometimes going through that process, we learn more about ourselves. We learn more about, our likes and dislikes, more about what makes us tick, and what we're deeply what we deeply care about, what we're deeply passionate about. So sometimes going through those trials really show us more of who we are.
When it comes to a sense of purpose, does it seem more like something that is naturally acquired, or is it something that you have to force?
Well, I wouldn't say force, but it's something you definitely have to search for. I think sometimes when we're younger, we feel that someone's going to give us a sense of purpose, or there should be some automatic sense of purpose, but that's not the way life works. Life expects us to find our sense of purpose, to find what we're passionate about. And honestly speaking, if it was just given to us, we probably wouldn't be very happy with it. It's something that needs to be discovered. There is a journey, I believe, to that. And ultimately, when we find it, we are much more peace, and we're much more content with our lives. But it's something that should not be forced. Now, with that being said, we may try several different things, and those things may not end up resonating with us, and then we finally strike upon something that actually gives us a deep sense of meaning, and it has a certain significance in our lives.
Now, we've talked, obviously, throughout this segment of lots of different important aspects within the Pillars to Success. How would you rank this one? Would you say a sense of purpose is near the top? Would it be something in the middle range? Or do you think it's something that's not as important as the other things we've discussed?
It's extremely important. As I stated earlier, it makes life worth living. We're not robots. We're not meant to just go to work and come home and just sit around and not take joy in our talents or in things that we're interested in. Life becomes sweeter when we have something that gives us purpose, something that we can get passionate about. So I feel that it's right there up the top. And just as hard work is important, just as motivation, discipline, all these things are important. Being kind to yourself, having a strong sense of purpose, having a passion that we can follow is extremely important. And again, as I said earlier, once we find it, we're going to have more of a sense of peace. We're going to have more joy and happiness in our lives. And again, life is difficult. Life has lots of serious moments and challenges, and so having that guiding sense of purpose and passion can really get us through some really hard times. some really difficult times. And so it's important to have that. It's important to develop that. And again, it's not something that's just going to be given to us. It's something that we have to search for, something that we're going to have to discover. But once we do, once we have landed upon on an area that we feel passionate about, it gives us a sense of purpose, we're going to be far more effective in other areas of our life.
And as always, if you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Before we end things, as we always do, we are going to wrap things up with one final question, Dr. White, and that is going to be, if you were meeting somebody who was struggling to find their sense of purpose and just trying to find out how to find that, what would you say to them directly?
I would ask them first what's something they really enjoy doing, what's something that they love. I'd ask them what their talents are, what are the gifts that they were naturally imbued with. I would have them realize that it may take a little bit of time to find their sense of purpose or their passion in life, but that absolutely is there. They just need to uncover it. So it's already there. It already exists inside them. They just need to uncover it. And that journey of discovery is going to be very fulfilling in itself. But again, I'd have them focus on just the areas that they come in contact with every day. Again, whether they be talents or areas of interest that they like, and over time, figure out what's something that really resonates with them, something that speaks to them, something that brings fulfillment in their lives.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. White. And once again, hope everybody enjoyed the video, and we will see you in the next one.
My pleasure.